Yesterday, Leon Dupree made a video where he put a compilation of the videos of the current looting going on and videos that are not from the same sermon of him supposedly prophesying of all this happening. And of course, the stupid sheep in his comment sections just ate it right up without actually watching the video or using any logic. First of all, if you do read the Bible, I've said it over and over, you know Leon's a false prophet. And people in his church are starting to realize that too. As of my last video, I updated the number of people that have left Encounter personally due to me. There's many more that have left due to Leon himself. But through my YouTube channel, I've personally delivered 5 people out of Encounter Church. But as of a couple days ago, that number is now at 6. There is potential it's at a 7. I've got about 6 people that have left Encounter now, all emailing me. This false prophet has destroyed a marriage. He's taken someone's best friend away from him, and he's caused division in another family, and he's caused a son to have a distant relationship with his father. These are all emails that I've received, comments that I've got from people who left Encounter Church because of my videos. So for those of you who can't think critically, I'm going to show you why this video he made actually he shot himself in the foot, because any logical person who watches this video will see how stupid and what it's such a pathetic attempt at trying to make yourself a prophet. So first I need to tell you guys what is happening now. I'm sure we're all aware of the looting that's going on now in South Africa. Do we all know the root of it? It could be instigated by people in government. There's potential for that. It could just be people taking advantage of a mass protest to just loot and be criminals. That's my personal opinion. But whether there are people organizing these riots, regardless, this started when Jacob Zuma was arrested last week and his supporters protested outside of his home, to which it then spread, and the protest then turned into a violent riot, to which it then spread throughout KwaZulu-Natal and parts of Gauteng, to where people are now taking advantage of the moment to loot malls, stores, burn down businesses. It's just a whole mess, and it's tragic because so many people have lost their jobs. And who owns a business that doesn't pay tax, doesn't read the Bible, and steals money from people on behalf of this fake Bible that he presents? It's Leon Dupree. And obviously, what kind of a person would hop on an opportunity like this to boast of himself? Of course Leon does it. So let me break it down. Zuma was arrested last week. People retaliated. People took advantage of that retaliation. And now we have criminals looting and whatnot. Even though it is calming down and dying down, it's far from a civil unrest that Leon Dupree is describing. By the way, he made a video today where he says it's actually going to get worse. It's typical behavior. As soon as I saw what was happening on the news, I had a funny feeling in my gut that Leon was going to hop on this. And of course he does. But I thought he would make it just a little bit more convincing. But this is really a pathetic video.
But the Spirit of the Lord is saying, but as you pray, the decision that the enemy or the plan that will not come to pass that has been planned, it will not happen. Because I saw a split that will happen in government.
So the first thing Leon says here is that he sees in the Spirit of the Lord that the government will split. The government has not split. Where has the government split in these events that have happened the past 2 weeks? Where? Where has the government split? Show me any evidence in the comments that the government has split. There is no indication. There is no motive that the government has split at all. He's lying. This is a video where Leon is a lot of prophets do this in Africa because it's a very easy place to be a prophet, is Africa. Because first of all, people don't read their Bible. People are mostly uneducated. And I'm not talking about uneducated as in no access to education. I mean, some of you watching this video went to school. Some of you probably have degrees, but you're still dumb. I'm serious, you're still dumb to believe that this guy's a prophet. And the thing is, to live in a country like South Africa and to say, I prophesy that there will be a revolt one day and that some people will die, or that crime will increase, or HIV rates will increase. It's South Africa. It's bound to happen. We all know where we live. Whether you agree with me or not, we all know South Africa is not the peachiest country to live in. It's the best country to live in if you're a false teacher. I'm telling you that now. We've got some of the worst in the world. The worst in the world is because you people don't think. You don't read your Bible. And the thing is, there is no indication that the government has split at all. But that's not even the main false prophecy thing that Leon made in this video. The next point is the main thing that Leon got wrong. And the person who edited Leon's video, what was going through your mind putting that video on the internet? Can you not read what you put on the screen? You contradicted your own prophet. You put 2 or 3 articles in the video that literally, with Leon's voice over the article, saying the exact opposite of what the article says. And the fact that Leon probably paid you to do it, that's...
The decision that the enemy or the plan that will not come to pass that has been planned, it will not happen. Because I saw a split that will happen in government, and I saw a division that a certain high political individual wanted to bring.
People, this man is a clown. This man is a clown. But you know who's even you know what's even worse? Is the person who believes that he's a prophet and that what he's saying is true. It's you. You. Because you refuse to read your Bible and to just... You don't even need to be a Christian to figure this out. Just think critically. Just think, people. What did he say?
Because I saw a split that will happen in government, and I saw a division that a certain high political individual wanted to bring. A division that a certain high political individual wanted to bring.
I'm gonna play the clip again.
That will happen in government, and I saw a division that a certain high political individual wanted to bring.
Please notice what he says here. Look at the recording date of this video. Look at the date that Leon du Preez supposedly made this prophecy. Right? The 31st of December 2019. So Leon is saying that the events that are happening now, from the 11th till today, the 15th of July 2021, he prophesied about on the 31st of December 2019. Okay. To which then he says that a high political individual will cause division. A high political individual. This is very important, those 3 words. A high political individual. What has happened from the 11th to the 15th of July was caused by this person that Leon is talking about. To which then Leon, or the editor, doesn't matter, then puts the name Zuma on the screen. As if every person is gonna go, wow, how did he know that? He must be a prophet. No. For people like me, who actually know what's going on, I'm not even bringing the Bible into this. You don't even need the Bible for this. People, Leon, you're 3 years late. Zuma left office on the 14th of February 2018. You're 3 years behind. Zuma has had no power. He can't pull any strings in the government for 3 years. This video is a pathetic attempt at trying to make yourself a prophet. And in my opinion, because I watched the original video that was on the 31st of December 2019, my personal opinion is you're talking about Julius Malema. And then this editor or whatnot, 3 times, it gets worse, I've got 2 more clips. 3 times he puts an article on the screen to sort of back up what Leon's saying, because Leon's voice is speaking over the screenshot of the article. The article contradicts exactly what Leon's saying. So, a high-ranking political individual has caused division, and that the government will split. 2 claims that are completely false here. You don't even need to be a Christian to figure this out. There is no evidence that the government has split during this time. No one's even talking about the government. And how did Zuma pull the strings behind this? Because the reason the editor put Zuma there is because we all know the motive for these riots was because of Zuma. They were not caused by Zuma's actions, because Zuma cannot bring forth actions because he doesn't have authority to, because he hasn't had any political seat. He hasn't been a councillor. He's got no part in office for 3 whole years. Zuma's been living on his pension for 3 years. He is not a politician. He hasn't been a politician for 3 years. This is a false prophecy. You're a false prophet. You're a liar. This next false prophecy is on Leon says that God gave him an image or a specific date.
I hear the Spirit of the Lord saying to me that there shall be a repeating when it comes to a date. And I saw a day that happened in 16 June in 1976 when Youth Day was happening. When there was an uprising, that when this government is not listening, that day will be repeated, an uprising will come.
That kept recurring in his mind, and he kept going to June 16th, 1976, which is Youth Day. Some call it the Soweto uprising, it doesn't really matter. Leon says, what is this that he's seeing? Is he seeing bloodshed? Is he seeing it happen again? To which he then says, Youth Day happened with the youth uprising due to segregation, racism and discrimination. Which, if you actually study history like I did, it wasn't mainly because of that. It was more of they didn't want to be taught in Afrikaans and what was known as Bantu education. They didn't agree with that. Apartheid was around long before that, and it was still around long after that. There's a reason it was youth only who uprised against it, because they were in school. Because they didn't want to be taught in Afrikaans. But if you study history, you'd know that, Leon. But now here's the thing I want you guys to understand. This guy just plays with God's name as if it's anything, eh? And it's so sad and pathetic that no one can pick up on what this guy's saying. So he says he spoke to God and he said, God, is this bloodshed that I'm seeing? Now, what does the God of the Bible say to Leon du Preez? Supposedly the God of love, mercy, righteousness, holiness, justness. What does he say to Leon du Preez? I'll play the clip.
Again, 16 June. Because when I said the Lord saying to me, when the youth rised up in rebellion towards unjustness, towards apartheid, racism, inequality, segregation. They rose up and many lives will be lost. When I saw this, I said to the Lord, is this bloodshed that I'm seeing? Because some people when they say I prophesy bloodshed. He said, no, no, no. They will think it's darkness, but it's light. And this uprising, they will say it's a rebellion, but it's of my spirit.
Did you hear that? God says, no, 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 no. This is good.
Is the police completely overburdened, unable to stop these violent and looting scenes that unfolded in the country.
Week that's pretty normal. It's good. I made it happen. It's good. Do you not see how selfish this man is? Another question is, do any of you drive a Toyota? You might be thinking, why am I asking you this? Because if you ever walk around and say, oh, Prophet Leon's such a humble man and whatnot, how many of you drive a Toyota or know someone who drives a Toyota?
Why does God prosper prophets? Why does he make prophets rich? Because a lot of us have a question, you know? Now they're saying, oh, prophets must be poor. No, shut up. Like, why are you allowed as a news anchor to drive that car? But me, just because I am a minister, a pastor, or a prophet, are not allowed to do. I must walk or drive a bicycle or a Toyota.
This is good in God's eyes. That's what Leon is saying. People have lost their homes, jobs, businesses, cars, family members. Some have lost their lives. 15-year-old boy got trampled to death. A police officer got shot to death. Nah, it's all for the benefit of the church. It's all good light. That's it. This is God talking to Leon, supposedly. I don't buy it for 1 second. You thought you could catch us on the Zuma thing. You're not going to catch me on the Bible. Never. So let's just give a round of applause to the editor of the video that Leon put out there, because this actually made me laugh while I was at home watching this video. So I'm just going to summarize it for you. What the editor does is he puts Leon's voice over a prophecy where Leon says that he sees people being, and he pulls his face as if he's like intensely talking to God. But he's not. I don't think Moses or Abraham or Isaac ever, listen. So Leon says here that he says that he sees pastors getting dragged out their church because persecution is coming.
They'll shut the church. They'll limit the church. Persecution hasn't started. You'll see them dragging people out of churches.
And then the editor then puts an article on the screen that says Soweto pastor arrested.
But it will increase my power, says the Lord.
Right? So when you read that first line, you think, wow, what a good prophecy. Geez, this Sowetan pastor is really being persecuted. No, the idiots at Encounter put an article that says Soweto pastor arrested and his congregants for assaulting police officers and damaging the patrol car. I mean, what do you think was going to happen? That's not persecution, that's being a stupid pastor. If you attack a police officer or his car, of course you're going to be arrested. That's not... He wasn't thrown out of his church, he was arrested. So, good job in the Encounter team, whoever's in charge of the social media. If it is that same guy who's been stalking me for 3 weeks, then good job to you, man. I mean, you just shot your own prophet in the foot. So I'm going to end my video there. This is just yet another false prophecy by Leon. Whether you watched the full video up to now or not, if you did, thank you very much. If you know anyone who's in Encounter who perhaps just doesn't really want to read their Bible or listen to any reason, I know it's very easy to want to give up. I know there's about 3 or 4 people who keep watching my videos, and I know that they have friends or family that are stuck in Encounter. I know it's not easy to be persistent with these type of people, because once you get stuck in a cult such as Encounter so much, it's almost impossible to get out. Jesus himself could show up in front of those people. They still wouldn't listen. These people are not Christian. They're serving their own bellies, like the Bible describes. These people are serving their own bellies. The Bible foretold of people like this. But for me to sit back and to, with this small platform that I don't have a lot of viewers and subscribers, but what's keeping me going is in those small subscribers and viewers, I've gotten 6 people out of Encounter now. I want more, and I won't stop just to get that one person out there. Because for me at my age and my knowledge on the Bible, to keep that to myself and sit back and sort of have a mentality that a lot of other Christians have, which is sort of just let them follow their own thing. I'd be doing a disservice to God then if I sit back with this boldness and this knowledge I have on the Bible to just keep it to myself and not tell people that what they're doing is wrong. Then to me that's a sin. So I will keep making videos. My channel's been quite a dry spell for the past 2 weeks because there's a lockdown. Leon hasn't been on a lot. I know he's on tomorrow night, so I look forward to that. Not really. But if there's anyone out there who even has a 1% conviction hearing me, I know there's a lot of you watching this thinking, this kid doesn't know what he's talking about. That's fine. If you've got 1% in you that says, I didn't like it when Leon said that, or I didn't really feel comfortable that one day at Encounter, or I don't really agree with how he spoke about that verse, then you're halfway there. Don't live with regrets saying I should have listened to that kid all those years ago, because I gave all my money to this guy, found out he's a fraud. I don't want that to happen. Rather, take the time out of your day, go over the verses I have given you in my previous videos, watch the testimonies of ex-charismatic church members. Go on Google and search ex-Pentecostal / charismatic movement members. These were not just your average members, these were high-ranking individuals. I've got a member at my church who was the leader of a charismatic church for almost 20 years. Don't live with regret being stuck in this church. Just take some time out of your day and read testimonies, read your Bible, read articles, but don't be ignorant and sit back. Because there's no guarantee of tomorrow. Look what happened to TB Joshua. We all know he was a false prophet. And I'm going to ask a very important question that will come up in my next few videos I'll make. For those of you who know who Muhammad is, if you don't, Muhammad is considered by the Muslims to be their prophet, the seal of the prophets. Now the one thing is Muhammad twisted how Jesus was crucified. Muhammad said that Jesus wasn't crucified. Leon says that Jesus was crucified and it spawned other Christs. So we've got 2 people with the title prophet, and they both lie about Jesus. If you say I'm lying about Leon, I've made about 3 videos waiting for someone to address that statement. Those 3 claims that Leon's made. It's been about 2 months now. My question is, and I'm going to end off here. For those of you who've been watching the full video, thank you. If you want to leave a like, go ahead. If you want to comment, if you want to criticize me, go ahead. I will respond. I respond to every comment. So, the question is, if you do not follow Muhammad because you are not a Muslim, you are a Christian, you are not a Muslim because you don't want to follow Muhammad, but you follow Leon Dupree, Prophet Leon Dupree. So here's my question. And don't say some nonsense like, oh, Leon's anointed, Muhammad's not anointed. Don't say stupid things. What is the difference between Prophet Muhammad and Prophet Leon du Preez.